Hello, everybody. Welcome to Arsenal X NGR Radio's Xbox podcast. As always, and for the last time at this moment, we had to throw up the X. Yes, because we are about to throw down. I'm your host, Eddie V. Guys, it's good to be back. Joining me, of course, is Mr. Jesse Douglas
How's it going?
and Bossman himself, Corey Derrick.
Okay, so technically it's not the last time we're podcasting. I mean, if you guys we're going to get into it a little bit later,
Yes.
but yeah. Sorry. It's not like we're not going away. I just want to make it clear cuz some people last week only listened to the first 5 or 10 minutes of Pow Block and were like, "You guys are done?" Because we were saying that Pow Block was ending. And then we clarified it for half the episode.
Right.
Sorry. I just want to make it clear for the people who are you don't have to stop tuning in to this feed. It's just okay, sorry. Continue, Ed, sorry.
Sorry. That's okay. Great breakdown, boss. So everybody, we are transitioning to a new network and a new show. So unfortunately, we are merging Arsenal X with Nintendo Pow Block, and we are forming something completely different. And in fact, we're even starting a new network. And if you haven't seen last week's Nintendo Pow Block, the announcement, well, everybody, we want to welcome you to Codename NX. The NX project, that is our network codename NX or CNX. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be combining Nintendo Power Block and Arsenal X together. So we are more open and more creative to talk about Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, Game Boy, PC, movies, anime, whatever. We're still going to have still going to be writing, still doing reviews, but we're going to be in a space where our creativity is going to be bringing more positivity, more fun and excitement. And so we are transitioning from away from NGR to well, we're transitioning from NGR Radio, I should say, to codename NX. So this, or I mean, as the final show for Arsenal X, that this would be the final show dedicated straight to Xbox. So of course, we're still going to give you guys a great show. Hopefully Corey could upload the last 2 episodes before this comes out.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Right after we made the announcement on Pow Block, my computer died. My PC died, and it's this is why kind of the last couple episodes of Pow Block are kind of wonky, and this one will look kind of strange, and the last episode of Arsenal X, the last 2 have been audio only because I lost the feeds in the videos and stuff of Arsenal X, but yeah, it's right after we made that announcement, my computer just would not turn on, and it was just oh no.
Oh.
Actually, no, it was before the show started. My computer wouldn't turn on, and it was so it's still not even turned on. So it's kind of been a little bit of a rocky transition for us, but we, like Ed said, we want to do more creatively and splitting our time between 2 or 3 or sometimes even 4 different channels, between NGR and Pow Block and Arsenal X, and sometimes Nerds Gone Platinum when they need one of us or whatever. It's tough, it's really tough to transition through that, especially because even Ed, even more so because he's Ed, you got Optional Opinion and you're still doing World 1-1, and Jesse, you've got a whole family life and everything, and it's just getting harder for us to contain or to have time, and we want to kind of contain our creativity through some things, and we're simplifying things, but hopefully it'll be better quality content for everybody, and we just, as I really feel like if we just kind of consolidate and put our time and effort into simplifying things, like we will not only will we have a better time doing it, but we will hopefully fans will enjoy more quality content because we're not splitting our time between 57 different things.
Yes.
Because Jesse, we've been trying to record like squad goals and Royale with cheese and stuff, and like sometimes I'm just like, Jesse, I can't, I'm too tired.
Yeah.
And it's and kind of winding stuff down for those channels and prepping stuff for the new channels actually has my creativity juices like reinvigorated, and like playing Sea of Thieves with you last week, Jesse, was awesome.
Yeah. That's fun.
I know we'll talk about it in a little bit, but
Yes.
hopefully, that string of creativity plus, building something that's kind of our own instead of kind of like shoehorning stuff into maybe shoehorning's the wrong word, but you know what I mean? Like being kind of adapting our styles to fit 8 people instead of just us as a core group. Like, I think we'll be able to be more of ourselves than maybe, at least for me, feeling like I have to adapt to kind of, put myself in a position to talk about things rather than, just having fun and playing games, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
the
go
other
ahead,
thing
Jesse.
I was gonna say too is like at some points like when like Corey's got a kid and I've got family, and like if whenever we want to do something with my wife's family, sometimes that means we got to leave the state because they live in Michigan, and so it's just like there's lots of things like that, and I feel like at certain points we were almost burning a candle at both ends, and and like we would rather just like talk, still talk. We're gonna still talk about Xbox because we still, obviously like that's for me my main console that I play on, and so we're still gonna be talking about Xbox majority, and still gonna be talking about Nintendo the majority of the time. But we're just we want to kind of bring it together and be able to do it all in one place versus having to split it up. Because
Plus,
there's times where we're like, we want to compare things or talk about things that we're doing, and it's like we would almost limit ourselves because we'd be like, and waste time even just saying, oh, I guess we better talk about this on Pow Block, or oh, I guess we better talk about. It's like we just want to be able to just jump into it, have a good conversation, and not and kind of take away that possibility of limiting or stunting a good conversation that could be had, so
yeah. Plus, like, if Ed played a lot of Days Gone, right? Like, there's no place for him to talk about that game on these shows either, and not to take anything away from like Nerds Gone Platinum or anything, which, by the way, congratulations to Nerds Gone Platinum for hitting their 100th episode. That show's grown a lot, and very proud of those guys.
Yes.
But like, they get to talk about their PlayStation stuff and their trophies and stuff, and like sometimes, if I'm playing, because like I actually last night restarted God of War, because last year when I played a little bit right when it came out, and then my wife was pregnant at the time, so I didn't really have a lot of time to like sit down and really play it. And then afterwards, like when my baby was born, like I only had like a half hour here, an hour here, and it's a game that I really wanted to sit and actually kind of like experience, and now from not that like my kid is old enough to actually like have done too many things with her, but like seeing it from a perspective of a father now instead of the child, like, because when I started playing, I was like, okay, well, this kind of reminds me of some of the things that like my dad, would do with me in like a weird way, but now seeing it from like a different perspective, like I want to experience that. And so like I would have no place to talk about that here either. So
Mhm.
that's another thing. Plus, the one piece of feedback we've gotten quite a lot over the last couple years too is like, you know, Arsenal X incorporates too much Nintendo stuff, or Nintendo Pow Block incorporates too much Xbox stuff. Like, like you were saying, Jesse, it just doesn't give us a natural flow of conversation of what, especially in like what we're playing. And it's like,
Mhm.
well, how do we balance that out? And so this is kind of our idea. Plus, like, look, I saw Avengers Endgame like 2 weeks ago, and I have had no place to talk about that movie. So, like, I kind of want to talk about that movie because, like, I'm not like the biggest Marvel fan, but
Mhm.
going to see that movie, I'm really glad I got to see that movie in theaters. Because like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spend a ton of time on it right now, but like, as much as like for me, like the Marvel movies have had ups and downs, and I've skipped some, and some I didn't really care for that other people liked, and some I did like that other people didn't really care for.
Mhm.
I thought Endgame did a fantastic job of like wrapping up the story,
Mhm.
even though the MCU is still going, but like the Infinity Saga, they did a fantastic job of wrapping up stories of characters that we've been following for 10 years. And it was quite an achievement. And just from a basic kind of storytelling from like a saga style standpoint, like it was a fantastic achievement. And I have no place to talk about that, you know? And, this is coming from someone who thought Infinity War was kind of it was way too long for me. It was a little bit on the boring side for me, to be quite honest with people. Like, I didn't really care for a lot of it.
Yeah.
And like I was like, well, maybe I was just tired that day. And I rewatched it before going to see Endgame, and I was like, man, I was right the first time. It took me 3 days to watch that movie because
Ooh.
oh boy, whoa. So but you know this new thing also gives us a place to talk about stuff like this, which from the very first, well, the the first real network that I was a part of, DNA, where I'm pulling that movie show out of the garbage, bringing it back. We're gonna
We consider it the vault.
Yeah, okay, good. That's,
Yeah.
what, good term, Matt. Good term. The vault, the title vault. We're bringing back a show that I used to do called Real Talk, which is a movie show, like REEL. Puns. Great name for a show. So we're kind of bringing that back with a different spin on what we used to do, which I don't know how many people actually remember listening to that show, but so yeah, there's yeah, Ed, well, Ed, yeah, Ed, you have the time to do everything. I think you're a wizard, Ed, a time traveling wizard. So, uh, you're like Hermione in Prisoner of Azkaban. So I don't think
Her?
Ed's watched Harry Potter.
I seen it. Oh goodness, those.
By the way,
I want to drink when I
I
watch
forget,
those.
Ed. If I find this again, there's this video on Facebook. It was called Black Harry Potter.
Oh, please do find it and send it to
I
me.
gotta find it and send it to you. It was so funny. I was like, Ed would get a kick out of this.
I would.
But just to wrap this up, like this is a new venture for us, and like we want to we talked about it a little bit on Pow Block. We want to actually try to do some things that being a part of Nerds Gone Rogue, we couldn't actually like do because we'd have to take a vote and count on other people to do things, and you know what I mean. Like
Mhm.
we we talked about the option of someday monetizing this stuff, right?
Mhm.
And like if we do this on our own, we have a more concise team to do these things instead of waiting on responses, being on other people's schedules. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
there's things that we want to try to do, and I think we have a team that can do this stuff. Like I said on Pow Block, and I don't want to take anything away from other people's podcasts, and I'm not naming any podcasts here either, but like there's podcasts out there that I know of that are doing things like that I know we are better than, that I know that we're stronger than, and I want to try to be that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not like I'm only doing this for money or whatever. Like I believe that we can do this, and I think we have the passion and the strength and the heart to do all that. And there's always that saying is, do what you love, and this is what we love doing, and this is what we're going to continue to do. And I think someday we're going to get to that point where we can say we can do that. So
yeah. Well, and like the idea of it is like really like as far as monetizing and things like that, like, and I said this on Pow Block, like the idea is like a lot of that, is going to be going back in to the show because, like we want to be able to give you guys like the best experience, and like hopefully, someday if we, are like considered a business, then we can like hopefully have more opportunities of like possibly in the future, we're looking like to be able to have interviews with developers and all those kinds of things that we can't really do unless we're a business. And so like that's kind of like what the main idea is. We just want to be able to offer our listeners some really good content that we just kind of don't have the opportunity to do right now. And that's kind of our main goal, is just like being able to maybe someday go to E3 or something, or who knows. Like, I mean, we're not going to look too far into the future, but but those are things that we would like to hopefully be able to do and give you guys some really good special content, like eventually someday like that. And and that's kind of the goal, is just having the opportunities that we just don't have right now. So that's a big part of it.
So everybody, join us for our new venture with Codename NX. We are going to be going live soon with the website and everything. There are going to be more details. So if you are subscribed to Nintendo Pow Block, stay subscribed to us there on YouTube. You'll get more content and more information there. But we're going to move on to our next section.
Can I say one last thing on what Jesse
Yes.
said? He said we're not going to look too far into the future, and like, we have some small goals, but we also like planning on bigger goals once we reach these small goals. So that's kind of the last thing before.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
All right, so everybody, now that Jesse and Corey is back on the show, uh, after different things have occurred, vacation, family, just relaxing and resting, we are back for one last time together for Arsenal X to bring you our last what's been in our arsenal. So I'm going to actually hand it over to Jesse first. Then I'm gonna hand it over to Corey, and then I'll take the end reins. So Jesse, what's been in your arsenal?
All right, so I ended up getting day one. I ended up getting Rage 2, and I don't know what was going on, but for some reason, like it would not start up. Like I would click on it, it would open up, and then it just booted back to the main screen. Yeah,
I had that problem too happen to me.
Okay. When did you try it? Like, was it around that first day, the second day when it was out?
I tried it that Thursday.
Okay.
Because I know I didn't install it because I was playing something else that I'll talk in what's been in my arsenal.
Okay, well, yeah, because I don't know if it was an issue, because I tried looking online to see if it was an issue that a lot of people were having, and it was an issue on the PC that they were having, but no one mentioned anything of Xbox, so it was just kind of Like it was, I just felt like, oh well, is something wrong with my hard drive or what's going on? Because I was having the same issue, like kind of same issue with Forza Horizon 4
Yeah.
recently, but that issue got fixed. Um, so yeah, so well, I'll just say first, like I did play some Horizon 4 a little bit too as well, but Rage 2, like I eventually then it started working like the next day, and that game is so much fun. Like it kind of reminds me almost of like the like Far Cry. It's kind of like Far Cry in some ways, and like I never really played Mad Max, but it seems like it's
Mm.
like it would be at like, obviously I know what my Mad Max is, like I've seen the movies and things like that. So like to me it's kind of like a mix between those two games, like as far as I know anyways with Mad Max. I've seen gameplay or whatever,
Yeah.
but but like but at the same time it almost has those like goal type feelings of like the Crackdown games and stuff, where
Yes.
like you just want to just jump, like just kind of travel around and finding and picking up whatever you want, kind of similar to like Breath of the Wild as well, where you just like this, it's just this big massive open world, and like you just have fun just going wherever the time takes you, and it's just like basically a lot of just going around doing whatever.
Mm.
So
Yeah. How far did you get into it? Because I played it too. I got past the intro, and then um there was another sphere thing that I went to, another area. So I cleared that out, and then I got like some different power uh for it. I don't know how far you got because I haven't did none of the story just yet. I just actually literally started exploring part of the world and driving.
yeah, like basically I'm kind of doing like what I'm doing, and it's making it difficult because just because of like a lot of the areas are like level like 5 or 6 or whatever.
Mhm.
Like there's those turrets or whatever, and
Yeah.
I just recently, because like I'm not really like I'm not far into the story or anything at all either. Like I've really only went to one of the people, that there's these 3 people that they tell you to find or
Yes.
whatever, and so I found one of them now. But I've gone to a lot of the things that you have to unlock to get the new powers.
Yeah.
I went to I think at least 5 of those already. Um, because some of them are kind of like hidden or whatever. Like they don't show up on your map until you look at. You got to use your LB or whatever
Yeah.
button, and then you look up in the sky and you'll see like this these like colorful like rays shooting up into the sky, and then
Mm.
once you locate those in the sky, then it will show up on the map, I believe is how it works. So like when you're close enough to those things and you can see them in the sky, I believe, then they'll show up on your map, but you have to spot those first.
Okay.
um
I hate
so
playing. Hate doing those special powers on the LB. Doing that dash, it don't. Sometimes it don't register right on my controls. I'm like, oh
oh
dang it.
yeah, I can see where that would be an issue occasionally. I like I don't know, like yeah, there's little things like that yeah, I wish were a little bit better.
Hmm.
But overall, like I'm enjoying the heck out of this game. Like I think it's like I'm enjoying like the characters that I've met so far, and like I feel like the like the voiceover stuff could be maybe a little better, but it's like overall, like I'm really enjoying the game a lot, and like when I start playing it, I just want to keep playing it. And
Nice.
just like the insanity, like I one day I got out of my car. I was on the road and I got out of my car, and the second I got out of my car, these crazy dudes driving really fast, I believe they're like motorcycles or something, and they had like an electric charge between the two of them or something like that.
Hmm.
Like literally just step out of my car and I get ran over and my body goes flying, and
Wow.
I was dead instantly. I was just like, are you serious? It's almost like, it almost in some ways reminds me of Red Dead 2, where you just have like just weird, crazy deaths that are just unexpected, and
Hmm.
like things like that. And like those turret things, like I said, I think I went against a level 5 and a 6, and man, those things, like I died so many times. It was almost like going against like a Dark Souls boss or something.
Dang.
Like it was just because they have different stages. Like
Hmm.
once, like there's different sections on its life bar where once you get it to that point, it will shut down and it will reprogram itself to then do a different combination of attacks. And
Yeah.
so then you've got to try to figure out the best way to evade, because like it shoots these rings like that travel out like a almost like a sound wave, but you can it's like you can see it, and if you get hit by it, it takes like almost half of your life off. And so what you got to do is it will send those out at the elevation that it last spots you at. So like a lot of times what you'll have to do is you'll want to climb up high. So then when it sends them out, you can drop back down to the ground, and then they'll go over the top of you. Or if they're down on the ground, then you can climb up on top of something, so then it goes under beneath you and you don't get hit by it. So there's just it's really cool. Like it's so basic, but at the same time it's like I don't think, other than like shoot 'em ups or something like that, where they have like a pulse that will go out or something, and then there's only one little area that you can go through to dodge it. Like other than like those kind of games, it's like I've never really seen an attack thing like that in this type of game before. So like there's little things like that they do that are really interesting with the game, that I feel like were just kind of little like nice touches that are kind of new and different. So but yeah, like there those, like when I'm as low of a level as I am, because like I mean I have things unlocked, but you also got to get stuff to upgrade those
Yeah.
powers. So like most of my stuff is basically at the beginning. I did upgrade my assault rifle that you start with, to the point where it's got like extended mag, like a bigger mag, and it's got rapid fire, so it shoots faster and things
Hmm.
like that. And I did recently find the shotgun that I heard about, that like I've heard people talk about, is like a really good shotgun, and it's pretty sweet. The shotgun's got like a really good spread when you shoot it the regular way, but when
Yeah.
you look down sight, it shoots a full slug, so you can almost like snipe with it. Like if you just shoot it, like shoot someone in the head or whatever,
Yeah.
it will kill them like instantly. And what's cool though is it sends a shockwave behind it when you shoot it, looking down sight. So when you shoot a guy, you can knock him into another guy, which will disorient that guy and give you enough time if you need to reload or whatever, to kind of have a chance to, where he can't shoot at you because he got knocked down or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's just little cool things like that they do that are fun and interesting, and like I haven't played it yet. I downloaded it, but it kind of like like I get the vibes of that kind of from Prey, that there's some kind of like physics based stuff that you do in that game.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm enjoying this game a lot, and like I'm glad I picked it up and started it this early, because it's a fun game. I don't know that it'll beat Resident Evil 2 yet for my game of the year, but
What is in there? Okay. So, Corey, what have you been playing? What's been in your arsenal?
oh, your mic's off.
Oh, he forgot this.
Whoops, sorry. I turned it off because they were like this. It's in our neighborhood. The city kind of there's like a 1 day, like if you have big stuff to throw away, this is the day to do it, and the city will pick it up for free type situation.
Okay.
And there's a lot of garbage trucks and moving trucks outside. It's just like really loud. So that's why I got up to shut the door. If you guys are watching the video version, and that's why I was muted. But anyways, I haven't really been playing a ton of stuff. But last week after we recorded Pow Block, Jesse and I played some Sea of Thieves together, and man, like we didn't really do any of the story stuff, but like just the way they changed a lot of the ways the inventory works, or just the food they added, the cooking, the fishing, the 3-man boat, even like I don't want to sound like that guy, but like they should this is like the game they probably should have put out a year ago. But like it really shows that Rare was listening to their fans and kept making improvements, and luckily Microsoft has been very generous in letting them continue this trend and just continuing to make the game better. And the story mode we didn't really touch, but like it's in there now, and that's really cool to see. And like it was a blast. What did we play for almost 2 hours last weekend, Jesse? Like two fish?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah. And it was man, it was a blast. And we were trying to run the big 4-man ship with 2 people. Because we were kind of hoping people would like join us and help us, and we could like, play with them, but they would show up for like 10 seconds and then drop out and stuff. Yeah. So we were like, whatever.
Yeah, we had one guy that stuck with us for a good chunk of time because we had did like we were just kind of going around and searching the islands and stuff, because I kind of wanted to see like if there was anything new and different on them, and like we found this one sweet cave that was like underground, and like it had all these different ways to go, and like we found some loot in there and stuff like that, and then like we were bringing all that stuff back and like exploding barrels and stuff, and we and then eventually we turned it all in for money. And I think that one guy that stuck with us for a while at the end there, he still was there, but then we headed out, so we unfortunately left him by himself. But
wow.
But I mean, it's not a big deal at that point, because he got all the loot, money and stuff like that. So it's not a big deal. Usually people then just start a new game or whatever. It's not that big of a deal, but
yeah. But it was so much fun, and like it really made me want to like really get back into that game.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I seen you guys playing, and I was just like, I don't know if I should jump in or not, because I had just got home and I seen you guys were playing, and I was just like, they might be done, so I think
we were just finishing up around that time, I think.
Yeah, I was like, because like I've been, Ed, more than Jesse does, but I've been getting up at like 5 a.m. for work to train.
Yeah.
And like that schedule's ending, thank God, this week. Instead of going in at 6, I'm going in at 8, so that's
nice.
Way better. But the last couple weeks have really been tough, training and doing that kind of stuff. So like I've been going to bed early, and my wife usually goes to bed somewhere between around 9, and I've been like, yep, I'm going to bed too. I'm so tired. So there hasn't been a lot of game time, but I played a little bit of Destiny also. I've been wanting to jump back into Destiny 2 for a while. And you know, a lot of people are kind of mad at Destiny right now, but I don't really care. A lot of people are mad at Destiny all the time, so it really
I
doesn't matter.
I think it was a physical copy of Forsaken. Uh, Someone was selling, I think US Cheap Ass Gamer had it or something. They showed a picture of Destiny Forsaken and had, I think, Forsaken and the two other DLCs all together. I'm
Yeah.
like, and that
Well,
they were selling it for like $10. I'm like, wait, huh?
yeah, it was like $14.99 the last couple weeks. Just, you know, Destiny 2 and Forsaken, and then the in between expansions. But you still have to pay for the season pass, which is like, I think it's like 35 or $40. Although
Okay.
it was on sale for like $25 the last couple weeks. But the base game at my used store at the used game store down the street is $3 right now. So
Dang.
I mean,
I was at Walmart, I think it was last week, and I seen that they had Metal Gear Survive for $10. They're selling it.
I could, yeah.
As I just had noticed that because I always like to just go look and see if they, like what games they have for cheap sometimes. So they have a couple of Switch games that were now considered to be in the more like smaller less amounts or whatever, but I still one of these days I want to get a new copy of Portal 2 because I don't know where my original one is. So I've been wanting to play it, but
Mine's is on my PS3. But is that anything else, Corey?
Yeah, I've played a little bit of Destiny. I finally started my Titan on Destiny 2 on Xbox, and man, it feels so much better than the Warlock. I like the Warlock a lot, but like
Mm-hmm.
I hate the jump, and like that just ruins it for me. So I started a Titan. I'm starting from the very beginning because I still have that spark that I'm going to use on my hunter that boosts you up to 32 or whatever. So I'm going to do that, and then
I need to get back in Destiny. Cause yeah.
I know I need to. There's a lot I would like to do in Destiny that I just haven't had time because that game will take up your life if you play it the way they want you to play it.
Yeah.
And then I played a little bit of Halo 5 last night. Just some multiplayer shooting guys, and spoilers, shooting guns in Halo still feels real good. So
if we end up if you end up wanting to do like Division, if you want to do Destiny 2 like occasionally for stuff that we record, like I can re-download it because that's the only reason I don't really like playing is I just don't like playing it by myself, and it's just been hard for us to try to get together and do any co-op stuff, so I just kind of deleted it because I have no use for it right now. I don't mind playing it, it's just not a game I enjoy playing by myself anymore.
Yeah, I hate playing Destiny by myself. Like, especially like the campaign is so much fun when you have like if we could get all three of us to play the campaign together, like through all the campaigns together.
That might be happening soon, and I will be telling you guys after the show.
All right, thank God. Jeez. But shooting stuff in Halo still feels really good. The battle rifle and it's almost like the Gears problem, Jesse, we were talking about, where like the two main guns feel so good, you just don't really want to go find the other guns.
Yeah.
Which is one of my goals. I'm going to try to go do Gears 4 and use the other guns.
Yeah.
Let's see how that goes.
Yeah. So that's
my problem now with Destiny is like I'm so far behind that like all I have is like guns that I've tried doing PvP, and like they're like I have no chance whatsoever of surviving because all the original guns from the beginning of the game are completely useless in that gameplay now.
Yeah, well, don't worry. They might be working next week or whenever the next season drops. I think it's like the beginning, like June, whatever that first Friday in June is when it's the new season starts. It's crazy because like the new season starts that day, and then 6 hours after the new season starts, the raid is dropping the same day. It's the first time ever that the raid is dropping the same day as the new season. So,
that's interesting.
Yeah, well,
Nice.
some people are like, because there's always that race to like level up to do the raid, and then to become world's first or whatever.
Yeah.
And
No
yeah,
no one's beat the Division 2 one yet, have they?
not on
Because
Yeah,
I
someone
read a thing.
yeah, someone beat it. A team of people beat it within 5 hours.
Well, yeah, but
the
on
PC
PC.
on PC, nobody's beaten it on. Well, somebody probably has by now, but like as of like yesterday, nobody has beaten it on console.
Oh, okay. I just know. I just read that the headline that someone did beat it within 5 hours. They just didn't say who. I mean, they didn't say what's like PC or console. I didn't click on the story, so I apologize.
You should
Yeah.
apologize, Ed.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Japanese bow. Sapaku.
But that's all I've been playing. I just finally gonna have some more time the next couple, or starting next week, or this week, I guess.
Yes. So everybody, what's been in my arsenal? I'm gonna jump on to PlayStation. Um, Finally beat Borderlands Game of the Year edition. Beat that like Friday morning. Um, so I'm not done with that game. I mean, I'm finished with the story mode, but I'm doing like side missions. I still got like 15 more levels to get to. I'm level 50. I haven't did none of the DLC or anything like that. But if anybody want to play with me on PlayStation, let me know. I guess I'll help everybody out. Corey, I'll help you out when needed. If you ever decide to get back in that game. Um, I picked up the Castlevania Chronicles or Anniversary for Switch, but haven't really started that yet. Played more Phoenix Wright. Picked up Coffee Crisis, which is just like 16-bit beat 'em up game. It, it's fun. I think I paid like $2 for it or $4. Like it's really cheap, not too much. It's on Nintendo sale right now. But for Xbox, popped in, played Rage 2, enjoying that. Popped in Monster Hunter World again, and I'm hooked. I got so back into it. I actually got to take down 3 monsters. And one of the monsters, Barra, if you guys follow me on Twitter and on Facebook, I finally beat him because he's like this big rock monster, and he likes to run around in mud, and the mud will protect him because it'll dry up. So in order to like actually get to his body, you have to get down to the mud. I had to fight him almost 4 times. I was getting my tail whooped, and these fights take around 20 to 50 minutes. Because you only get 50 minutes for the timeline, so I had to find them, and I found them, and then like once you find them and stuff, anytime you faint or the mission is over with, you could go back in. He'll be already there, so you just follow the pattern to get to him, and then you'll see him, and then you just go and fight him. I kept cutting off his tail and getting him staggered and stuff. I don't know how to capture them yet. They give you a net thing, but they're so big. It's just like, how do I capture this? So I don't know how that works, but I finally upgraded my long sword because mine is like this big long katana that I'm using, and my Palico, which is my cat, Claude D Boy, is his name. He now has I equipped him with like a sword almost like mine in a helmet, like a pilot helmet, but now he has on kind of like Majora's Mask outfit in a sense, where he has this kind of this mask as a face, and then like this fairy kind of outfit, not the fairies that fly and stuff, but it's just like kind of jungle with all this grass in different colors covering him stuff. And then I gave him a bow. So me and him then I got a achievement because I ran into another palico that was just sitting around, and those two palicos was talking, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'll come and help you." So I had me and my palico and his friend all attacking Baroff, which is the monster I was having trouble with.
Right.
And I was just kicking the tail out of him. I finally beat him like, yes, yes. And then I went finally opened up this area, then went back to it, and then there's like this crocodile fish monster. And I'm like, what is this craziness? Like Monster Hunter World is crazy with the monsters. I'm just like, I'm going to love this game. So, but I ended up beating him, and now I'm at a point where I'm at, I think it's Talohan or Talocon or something like that. Um, and he's like this kind of squirrel, a skunk kind of mixture looking thing, and he's made out of electricity, so he could stun me with ease if I get close to him. So I think I now need to get like a bow and start working on my bow and stuff. Because trying to attack him with my longsword is powerful, but the speed of it is not great. Because my character he looks like a ninja or a samurai, so I had to give him a weapon that matches it. So I really am enjoying Monster Hunter World. Hopefully, once I beat it, I could claim it as part of my next challenge and move on. Uh, but I'm going to be jumping between that and Rage 2 on Xbox because I almost all like most of the hot releases I'm almost finished besides Metro Exodus, but I didn't pick Metro up. So um but yeah, everybody, that's what's been in our arsenal. So we're going to get into our Arsenal news slash Arsenal exchange, our final one. So it seems that not only is Microsoft playing well with Nintendo in a lot of great ways, they're working with Sony. Yes, everybody. Sony and Microsoft team up on tech, and this story is coming from Game Informer. We know them as competitors in the gaming space, but today Sony and Microsoft announced a partnership that involves the companies working together and leveraging their unique strengths to explore some tech-related issues. The press release says both companies signed a memorandum of understanding that declares an intent to collaborate on future cloud-based solutions that will help both sides with their game and content streaming services. Before you get too excited, don't expect the joint Xbox PlayStation console to come out of the deal. The scope of this cooperation deals with things like semiconductors and Microsoft's Azure AI and cloud technology. It allows Sony and Microsoft to work together and share information to solve problems that are currently facing the tech industry as a whole. In short, the two companies can innovate in ways that they couldn't alone in every benefits. So I know they said Sony's gonna be using Microsoft Azure for like kind of like for their cloud work and everything. Um, I don't know what Microsoft is getting out of the deal just yet. We probably will know more in the future, but I think this is a good win for Microsoft just in general. And so, our kind of our Arsenal exchange is what is Microsoft doing now? Since they're now really working with Sony and Nintendo, like how are they becoming seen? Because for me, not only I think they're changing their view on how they do games and stuff, but like me and you was talking Jesse about them just now being more of a platform in a sense. That's kind of coming out more, and surprisingly, Sony wants to work with Microsoft to get this stuff together, and so I think um what this would lead to in the future, I don't know. But what did you guys think about this?
I mean, I think they see, and not just from a PlayStation and Xbox perspective. I think
Mm-hmm.
the two companies think that they want to get streaming off the ground, and if they work together, I think they'll both achieve the goal faster. Because
Yes.
you're putting more resources behind the end goal, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and so if they work together and they already work together on a professional level in ways that we don't even think of, like Xbox One X and S have a 4K Blu-ray player in it, which is so they have to license stuff out to Sony, or Sony licensed that brand out to them so they can use it, right? And
Mhm.
and Sony Vaio uses Microsoft Windows, right? Like they're already using each other's products and each other's things. So, I mean, I think this is just another step in that type of direction. And a lot of cloud gaming stuff seems to be the way people want to go in the future, and PlayStation has PlayStation Now, Game Pass, I'm sure on phones and maybe Nintendo Switch and tablets and other things are going to be have some sort of streaming. I'm sure if you purchase a game, you'll be able to stream it while it's downloading in the background or installing on the next platform. So
Mhm.
I think if they work together, and I think at Microsoft as a technology giant, Sony sees that, and if they can use the Azure technology that Microsoft is offering to help their cloud gaming service have a broader appeal and work better and everything, and not a lot of people talk about PlayStation Now, but I think it works better than it did at launch. It's still not
Yes.
quite where I think they want it to be.
Mhm.
But I think it's close. I think it's closer than ever that might be a way we play games at some point. And so if they can get the infrastructure in place and they want to work together to make that infrastructure better, I think it's better for everyone. So.
Yeah, especially with PlayStation 5 coming out, like that that would be a big part of people, wanting to get a PlayStation 5 or even whatever Microsoft names their new system. But like for Sony, I'm just like, y'all include this in PlayStation 5 and it works right out the gate. And if you have any problems, Microsoft could come in and fix it. That's a win for Sony.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's just it's like kind of like adding to what you were saying earlier, Ed. Like I think the thing is Microsoft is like, not only are they doing games and gaming and stuff like that differently,
Mhm.
and like the way that they run it, but it seems like their company as a whole is just kind of trying to be a little bit more positive and opened up, and any opportunity, like like this is a perfect opportunity for with the Google or whatever having their streaming service and stuff, like the fact with that Sony and Microsoft are working together to try to work on making something that seems like could be better than what what Google has got going on, eventually. It's just kind of, I feel like it's just a really cool thing to see, and like I hope over time that maybe this kind of thing, this kind of attitude moves towards the PlayStation part of Sony, where
Mhm.
where they're a little bit more open and realize that maybe working with other companies isn't really hurtful to your business more than it is gives you a better look, like, cuz just like, look how excited we were when we found out that like that Nintendo and Xbox were kind of working together. It's just like it made both of them, both companies, just ultimately look better and look to be progressive, and just the attitude that Microsoft has or Xbox has of just like, we want people to be able to play games however they want,
Yeah.
and like, just that, if everyone can adopt that outlook and stuff, I just feel like all this negativity that we see in different pockets of the gaming world, would hopefully dissipate over time. Just because the whole console wars are just like, it's just gets annoying at some point, and it's like,
It's when
What
it's.
does it matter how you play? It
I
just
think it's
play.
when people want to create those console wars, they want to have an
Yeah,
excuse
yeah,
on why something is better, and it's just like we're in an age that it doesn't matter who's better or not. Like you said, Jesse, play wherever you want to play, and if somebody wants to offer that ability to play anywhere, take it, take that offer. Let people enjoy what they want to have because. Um, people just like they're teaming up. There was a story, someone I forgot who posted it. They were just like, there's a story that they teamed up so they could go against Stadia, Google Stadia. I'm like,
yeah,
that's two different things. Stadia
yeah,
has its own infrastructure on how they want to do their games and put it
yeah,
out to the people. And the people who want to use Stadia, it's going to be great for them because maybe that's an easier way for people to play stuff around the world with PC. There might be some problems with it, but like let them put it out there
yeah.
and get their feet wet and see what works and what doesn't work. I think with this, um, with Microsoft and Sony working together, uh, this is just one thing. It could lead to many more things, but this cloud-based system is really big.
Mhm.
If it helps to better Sony with their cloud system, with games and stuff, yes. If this helps Microsoft with their cloud system, then yes. I think Sony's gonna be looking forward to Microsoft to help them answer some things because Microsoft is straight tech. Like I've always said, Microsoft is a tech company, so they're engineering. They know they're working on this PC inside technology stuff. Sony is known as a sound company, so yeah, they have some technology, but they're good at producing sound quality. That's always been their foundation. Nintendo is entertainment. Plain and simple, it's straight entertainment. And so all three work together in their own various ways. But I think, if Sony's having a problem with their cloud service, Microsoft could come in and help them out and get it straightened. Because I personally, for me, I don't want the PSS thing to ever happen again. And if Microsoft could come in and help them with that, then let them help. Let them come in and help them get that all together.
Mhm. Yeah,
So,
I think it's just like, the only competition that I would see though with like the Google Stadia is just it's not necessarily competition as much as it like Microsoft and Sony working together to try to get to what potentially will be the future of
mhm,
gaming, and trying to work together to try to get a solid foundation of that faster, because, I'm not gonna lie, it would be kind of embarrassing if Google just steps in out of nowhere, who's never really did games, and just all of a sudden gets to the future of gaming before the people who are known for video games do. and you know
Yeah.
so I think that might be what we're seeing, is that, like Microsoft and Sony are like, we are video games. We should probably work together and try to get this done the right way first before anyone else does.
Plus, like, I think, speaking to the Google Stadia stuff, like,
mhm,
I think if Microsoft and Sony, like, separately or together, whatever, like, if they get the cloud streaming stuff right the first time, and maybe the streaming technology isn't as good as Google's, but it's good enough, and like you can play games, whatever, at Xbox One S quality, right, which is what they're talking about right now.
Hmm.
Like, I think they will beat Google anyway because they have the first party and they have the games that people
Hmm.
want. And yeah, Google will have Assassin's Creed and Doom and whatever else, but like, what was the last box that succeeded on just third party support, right? I mean, you need that balance of third party and first party support. We saw that from, you know, Nintendo last generation, where the Wii U didn't sell even though they had some amazing games. We saw that this gen with Xbox One, even though like they've had some interesting and creative first party games, but Sony's outselling them 3-1 almost, and it's like, well, you got to have that balance somewhere, and I think Microsoft's making all the right moves. I think they're playing nice. I think Sony is starting to see that, where like, hey, we need to start making some moves similar to what Microsoft's doing, or we're gonna have another almost PlayStation 3 situation on our hands. So, I think as long as Sony plays nice with people, we're seeing EA accesses coming to PlayStation 4 now, and
yeah.
Backwards compatibility, something they said that they didn't need.
Yeah. The thing is too is like,
let's address that one.
EA. If let's address the EA Origins thing first. Is like,
yes,
that service isn't good since PlayStation 4 doesn't have backwards compatibility. That service isn't even going to be as robust as it is on Xbox One, because you're missing all the Mass Effect games, the Dead Space games, the first 2 Dragon Age games. Like, you're just missing a lot of games that people want to play, and which, PlayStation 3 technology, whatever. That, I mean, the thing is like, it's good that it's coming, and I think PlayStation, the architecture of the PlayStation 4 will allow almost a seamless transition to PlayStation 5 in terms of the tech and backwards compatibility and everything. I think, backwards compatibility is good, and I think they want that consistency that Microsoft seems to be bringing also. Is like, if you buy a game on PlayStation, it's gonna be linked to your PlayStation account forever, starting this gen. And I think like Xbox has done a lot of hard work to give us not only Xbox One games in the future, but 360 and original Xbox at 4K and a smooth frame rate and extra widescreen if they're not already. Another game I tried to play last night and I was just too tired to keep playing, but SSX3 on the original Xbox, right? It looks great, and I don't ever remember playing that game in widescreen because I played it on GameCube, but the fact that game runs in widescreen and runs at a smooth frame rate and a consistent frame rate and looks great at 1080p on my TV is like, man, they really put a lot of work into this, and so it's nice to see that, Microsoft has been doing it, but it's nice to see that, it seems like Sony's changing their minds a lot on some things, which is also good to see, because if everyone's on the same page, everybody can move forward, even though they're in competition with each other. The technology and the game stuff, that side of it can move. We can get to where we want to be faster if everybody works together. You know what I mean? So
yes.
Yeah, that's really nice to see that they're working together on the streaming stuff.
I'm happy that EA Origins is coming to PS4. I know for me it probably won't do much. And it's a personal thing. No disrespect to EA or anything. I think I didn't see a lot of fanfare though for it.
Well,
And I was kind of I was weirded out about that. I thought more people would be happy that I'm like, okay, not only is EA Origins and everything else.
I think a lot of people want those old games, right? And PlayStation can't provide them because they're not backwards compatible, which is why I think the PC version of Origin Access is like the most successful version, but also why it was more successful on Xbox also is because like Mass Effect 2 and 3 specifically are backwards compatible. Dead Space is backwards compatible. Dragon Age 1 and 2 are backwards compatible. That's what I mean is like Microsoft having this service and being backwards compatible automatically makes that service better somewhere else, even though you're paying the same price. So I don't know. Yeah. I think it being on PlayStation 4 is a nice option for people who only have a PlayStation 4, but they're not getting the full complement of the service.
They can't download those games from EA Origins, like Mass Effect 2 or something like that, or they actually got to have that game.
It would have to be whatever was available for the PS4 only.
Yeah,
that's it.
So you're not.
Wow.
So
you're not getting Mass Effect trilogy. That's what I was saying. You're not getting Mass Effect trilogy. You're not getting the Dead Space trilogy. You're not getting Dragon Age 1 and 2. You're not getting Plants vs Zombies. You know what I mean? Like,
okay. Because I thought
you're only getting the games that have been published on PlayStation 4, which would be like Dragon Age Inquisition, Battlefront 2, Battlefield. Anthem's not on the service yet, so
unless they want to put in the work to convert it over, basically. That's the only, because that's why Microsoft puts all that money into getting those redone so they can be in better resolution and things like that for a lot of the games.
And I think that's part of the confusing part to me was I thought all of that stuff was part of EA Origins, like how Steam is, like those games are already on.
Technically, it is, but the PlayStation 4 owners aren't gonna get that content because PlayStation 4 is not backwards compatible. So
because it's still a PS3 file.
Okay.
EA would have to put in the work, which maybe they will. Maybe we'll get a up-res Mass Effect trilogy, and they'll finally put it on current gen consoles.
PlayStation would have to put the money into it.
Because I thought it would be something like they would be able to. They can't download it, but there'd be something that they could stream.
Well, maybe they'll get the PlayStation Now streaming version of it on there.
And that's what I was going to ask. I'm just like, are those games on PlayStation Now? I wonder where EA Origins recognize it, but then that's two different services that people would have to pay for.
Yeah.
Well, what it might do is they might just have it where somehow they would have to do work around like a link where if you have EA access, any of those games that are in there that are on PS Now or the PS Now or whatever, you'd be able to play those, but you wouldn't be able to play any of the other PS Now games unless you have the service or something like that. They would just have to
if you pay for the service workaround. Well, they would just unlock those games, and they would just have like a weird unlock system, I guess, like you were saying.
Okay. Well, everybody, that was our last Arsenal exchange. Do you guys have any final words for our fans of Arsenal X or anything about the show that you guys would like to say?
I mean,
excited.
I mean, that's the thing is like we're not really going anywhere. We're just taking our experience from these two shows and everything else we've done since we started doing this, and we're making something new. We're evolving. We're creating more. We're doing more with the stuff that we love to do. And I think as Arsenal X's chapter comes to a close, a new chapter starting for us. That's what we discussed on Pow Block, and what we're going to discuss on the final episode of Pow Block is like, we are evolving as content creators, and we want to do more. We want to not have to, switch between channels, and because like if you're not doing YouTube or podcasting and stuff, it's a lot of work to switch between all that. It's it's a lot of different type of work that you're not always seeing, and if we can kind of eliminate that step, we can do more and create more, and I'm excited for our new chapter, and this isn't the end of us, clearly. It's just the end of this chapter, and I am sad that these two shows are coming to an end, especially you and me, Ed. We've been doing this for 3 years at this point. And bringing Jesse in was a great addition, and it's just time for us to evolve as creators, and what better way is to bring everything we love together under one kind of umbrella. So
because I feel like we've put a lot of content out there. There's at one point we were going to try to put all the channels onto one channel, and then that once we put all of our stuff that we were doing on the NGR channel, it became so overwhelming to try to sift through to find stuff, and so is we feel like we are putting so much content out by ourselves, like the three of us, that we could start our own channel and have it all in one area, so then people have a nice robust, channel to go to, but it won't be too overpopulated, like it will just be, we'll have the couple of shows that we do, and I think it's gonna be easy to look through everything, but at the same time we'll also have a good amount of content for people. And like the one thing that we talked about too a lot is we want to be more consistent, and just having one podcast show, as far as like the main show that we have to worry about, it's going to be easier to be more consistent with that. And then, like have schedules for all of our other things, so we're not like taking on too much at once, but we're still giving you guys a good chunk of content. And and we didn't really talk about it on here yet. We did on Pow Block, and that we're gonna try to as well, like whenever, like if sometimes me and Ed will just start up a chat and we'll talk in the morning or whatever after I'm done with work, and sometimes we have some really good conversations that would make for a really good episode of a podcast, and we're like, dang it, we should have recorded this because we had such a good conversation. So we're going to try to be a little bit more mindful of things like that. Though I haven't really gotten much free time lately in the mornings. And then when I do, I'm usually wanting to play some games, because otherwise I'm not getting to do that much lately either.
And then by the time you get home, I'm in my bed sleep, or I'm talking to Corey and getting up going to work.
Yeah. Well, even then is like, if whatever little free time we have, it's like with this new setup I'm gonna have, like anytime I'm playing a game, I'm just gonna record it. Right. And or stream it, or what I mean, like I want us to kind of get in that habit too of like, even if we aren't talking to anybody or whatever, let's just stream it and see what happens, or record it and throw it up on the YouTube channel. It doesn't need to be like really edited that much or anything. Like it just needs to be like, let's just throw it up, and this is what we've been doing. So
it's a normal, natural conversation, and just things just come up like unplanned stuff. So yes, everybody, join us for our next adventure. And hopefully that you all guys can also, before we go out, that you guys could check us out for E3. Hopefully we could get something going for there. Microsoft's conference is June 9th. I'm going to have my snacks. Hopefully Jesse and Corey will be able to join me. That you guys will join us on Codename and XN, watch E3 with us. Depending on what we can watch and how excited we are. We will have a prediction show, and we'll probably do that on CNX.
That'll probably be our episode 0 kind of thing.
Predictions.
Like next week when we record, like maybe that'll be our thing, because I mean E3 is only 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away. So I mean, if we're gonna do one, next week is as good as ever. And like, we're gonna try to live stream most of, if not all of our recordings too. So yes, that's another thing you can look forward to. Again, on the we're using the Nintendo Pow Block RSS feed to kick this off. So if you're not subscribed to that show, the links to everything will probably be in the bottom of this description, the episode description, to where you can see us and whatever. So that'll be happening real soon. But like, I'm just excited for us in this next chapter, and once we get in the swing of things and in the groove and figuring out like, okay, we're live streaming our podcast. We already know we're gonna do that, right?
Yes.
We're gonna have new social media accounts, right? That's all in the plan. But it's gonna be a work in progress for a couple weeks till we get in the new swing of things. And but like I said, we have the experience, we have a great team, we have the will to do it. This is just our new chapter now. And like I said, with the Pow Block and Arsenal X chapters closing, a new one is opening for us, and I'm really excited. So
yes. So everybody, you can find Jesse at Phantom Magna AX. You can find Corey Derrick at Corey NHD73. You can find me at that retro code, all three of us on Twitter. Check our past episodes if you want more information. Uh, and I gotta do this with my guys. And hopefully, fans, you would when you see this, you join along with us too. Everybody, can we throw up the X for one last time?
It's not gonna be the last time. I'm
No,
gonna
it's
throw
not
up the
gonna be.
X. I'm gonna throw up the NX.
Yes, because we are exiting. Yes, everybody, we are exiting out. Thank you guys for joining us on our next podcast. Thank you to everybody who's written to us, who's gave us feedback, who watched the shows and enjoyed our content. We really appreciate you guys. And like I said, hopefully you follow us on our next adventure at Codename NX. With that, everybody, we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.